Greetings, this is June 2nd, and here we are again at the delightful restaurant doing our usual work. Today, Sunday, and yesterday has been doing the wonderful world of swamp coolers. This is what the guts of a swamp cooler looks like. These are finicky little units, very primitive technology. They're a lot easier to work on, a lot more efficient generally in arid climates like we have up here in Lake Isabella. They're an evaporative cooler. They combine the worst combination of a toilet, a fish tank, and a badly wired Model T Ford, I think. They're not really terribly complicated. A 5-year-old could work on one. Unfortunately, in my experience, apparently 5-year-olds are the only people that work on them. So I've never seen an old swamp cooler that wasn't a disaster. This one we spent all of yesterday rebuilding. Pretty much the only thing that was usable was the metal shell and the squirrel cage fan, and everything, including the wiring, had to be replaced. They originally had some weird, funky, the switches in the thing had broke. They decided to cross-wire some weird thing in using a light switch connected to a bunch of non-grounded wires. So this was just designed to be a temporary, because we've got 3 other swamp coolers up on the roof that they were using. Apparently those all broke, and they decided to put this thing in as a temporary some 10 years ago or so, and then ran it until it died. So in order to make this a temporary, I had to replace all of those plumbings and all these connections, because part of it is kind of like a toilet bowl. It's got a little float here. It has to fill this reservoir up with water. This pump, I think it's a fish pump, comes and pumps up the water. It sprays it down here into those little mats, and then the fan sucks the outside air in through the mats. The water evaporates and chills and then is blown on the inside. So a couple different pieces there. And of course everything, the mats need to be replaced, the pump needed to be replaced, the filter, the float needed to be replaced, all the electrical connections, the switch, all the connections in there, including the faucet, had to be completely redone because they were all broke. This temporary line had to be run because there was no power. That new outlet had to be put in. The ground was broke on that. I had to pull all the wood off to get at the wiring that was originally in the wall to reattach the ground. And this is just for a temporary connection. God help me if I was trying to do something permanent. Jeez. Here we are up on the roof, and a beautiful spring day up here in glorious Lake Isabella / Bodfish. Over there on the hill you can see the remnants of the fire that happened Friday. Came within 3 blocks of my house. You can see the orange stuff on the hill there. I have never seen such a coordinated effort of a fire department and the hotshot crews to put that thing out. We had probably 15-25 mile per hour winds that Friday. You can see it started on this end and went over the mountain onto my side. And it moves so damn fast, and I had to evacuate because the way it was going, it looked like it was going to cut off my exit from the canyon. I didn't think it was a danger of burning down the house, but if you get caught in that canyon and it changes direction, you're stuck because there's only one way in and out. So that was fun. But as you can see here, beautiful spring day down here in downtown Lake Isabella. We have one hell of a view, so good place for a restaurant. If I could put the tables on the roof. Anyway, this, as you can see, we've got 3 other swamp coolers here on the roofs. They're all in the same condition that this damn thing was. What started the thing in the window that I spent all yesterday working on, and it's only 3/4 done, was at some point this broke. I didn't know what to do with it when they went out. Here you have the water inlet connections, all of them broken to all 3 of the swamp coolers. The pads, you can look at. They haven't been cleaned or replaced in, oh, God knows, a decade. It turns out the motor's shot, the belt is shot, the bearings I think are still good. This thing hasn't been cleaned since it was put in, probably. It's all full of crud. The electrical wiring, this is amusing. They never wanted to spend any money on proper wiring, so they used the cheapest shit Romex and put it in the cheap plastic irrigation pipe, as if that was liquid tight electrical conduit, which it's not. Put it into this box. When I opened up the cover, I was surprised to find all these wires bare, uncapped, with no wire nuts on them, just hanging out here on the inside. They disconnected the motor when it seized up, I guess. They took out the water pump, the circulating pump, and didn't put in another one. And then went, fuck it. And that's what we got. So layers upon layers upon stupid, added to shit, added to more stupid, and guys out having a nice motorcycle ride today. Beautiful day for it. I haven't looked at that one yet. I'm sure it's just as bad. This one, you just can't make this stuff up. This one, of course, mounted with bricks. The input lines are shot on that. On the other side, you look down at the bottom, the float stuck, and apparently it was leaking for years, and they just let it dribble down the walls until all the plasterboard rotted away. Those connections don't work. At some point, they decide to wire in a security light, and security light's there, and they ran it into, that's right, they ran the security light wiring into the Swampcooler. It probably runs down the duct, and God knows where it's wired inside the garage. So, more fun and games. That vent there, I just made that work yesterday. They had a security camera that they wired in there, hung in with a baling wire, and ran the wire down the vent so that the attic vent fan wouldn't spin anymore. So that was brilliant. Anyway, another wonderful day at the restaurant and a journey of discovery to find out just how badly people can half-ass things.